The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's call. I'm excited to bring you today's topic, what's new in the Salesforce Spring 19 release. I'm Julia Flaherty, the marketing coordinator at Ledgeview Partners, and I can't believe we're already thinking about spring, at least in the world of technology, that is. I don't know about you, but the weather here in Wisconsin is certainly far from spring. Today's topic is surely an exciting one, and I'm so glad you've decided to join us as our expert Salesforce business analyst, Lauren Zulp, walks you through key highlights of the release. For those that are unfamiliar with Ledgeview Partners, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about us. We are a business and technology consulting firm who partners with organizations to transform sales, marketing, and customer service operations and processes that are supported by core technologies, including customer relationship management, CRM, and marketing automation. Our certified experts provide strategic business advice, process definition, and technology solutions that advance your business processes forward, helping you to achieve your unique business goals in sales, marketing, customer service, and CRM. For those of you that have been on our webinars before, I want to say welcome back. It's nice to see you. And for all of you newbies, I'm excited to have you joining us for the first time. We will be taking up about 45 minutes of your time today, so sit tight as I cover a few quick housekeeping notes before we dive into today's topic. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All attendees will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access this presentation. If you haven't already, add us at ledgeviewpartners.com to your safe senders list to ensure you get the email. Or if you find any mail from us in spam, please go ahead and mark that as not spam. We encourage you to share this within your company and your professional networks once you receive it. To ensure the best audio quality, we have all of you on listen-only mode today, but if you have a question or comment, go ahead and submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel, and we will follow up with you afterwards. At Ledgeview, we have a lot of excellent resources to offer you, whether you're interested in learning more about Salesforce or perhaps our comprehensive services like customer service, sales, marketing, and other CRM technology. From a variety of ebooks to infographics to blogs and case studies. We have over 25 ebooks in our current library, so you're sure to find something that interests you, and hundreds of blogs to choose from to help you build your own knowledge base, get more insight, or develop your expertise with Salesforce or other topics. So after this webinar, you can go and check all that out at ledgeviewpartners.com. We also invite you as trailblazers to join us for our Salesforce user group on Facebook. You'll see the simple steps on your screen there. We've created this group as a platform for you to speak to each other, so whether you have questions about best practices, technical functions, or something else, we've laid out this platform for open conversation for you regarding anything that has to do with Salesforce. We're not trying to sell you anything on there, just completely open for conversation. And now that you know more about Ledgeview, it's time to learn a little bit more about one of our own who will be presenting today, Lauren Zulp. Lauren is a 3-time certified Salesforce professional with experience in the implementation of Salesforce Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and Community Cloud. Her work is as impressive as her awesome attitude and passion for the system is. And with that, I'll let her take things over so you guys can really get going into today's topic.
Wow, thanks for that, Julia. Yeah, I am so excited about the Spring 19 release that is happening in Salesforce. It does feel like just last week we were going over the Winter 19, and I was so excited about the Winter 19, and I can't imagine being more excited except for this one. So on today's agenda, these are a few of the things that we're going to be covering. Pinned list views, printable record pages, pop-out utilities into new windows, new sub-tab options, 2-page regions for console apps, improvements to Salesforce surveys, improved search, increased data storage, and lastly, update to retention limit for field history data. All right, so those are a lot of technical words, but don't worry, we're going to demo some of this, and we're going to introduce you to a few end users and demo as them. So let's dive right in. Starting with one of my favorites, pinned list views. Okay, so if you're familiar with Salesforce, you know that every time you logged in and you went to one of your objects, whether it be accounts or opportunities or cases, that you are defaulted into this recently viewed list view. Now, this was a point of contention for many people and probably for you as well, because sometimes that is simply not the most useful list view to go right into. So, Salesforce did hear that and they understood. So, to demo this, I want to introduce you to someone, Sally from Support. Now, Sally from Support is a great support agent, always going through her cases quickly and resolving those customer issues. She was recently promoted to head of support for all of her efforts, and she loves Salesforce, with one minor exception: list views. Like all support agents, rather than going right into their recently viewed cases, they would rather go into their open cases. Because if you're as good of a support agent as Sally is, you've already resolved these cases. So why come in straight into them? So now, as of the Spring 19 Salesforce release, we are able to select a different list view. So for Sally, we're going to go ahead and select My Open Cases. And you see this little pin to the side. You click that pin, and let's refresh. Let's come out of the case object, go back in, and you'll see that I have just overridden the default recently viewed cases. So now Sally is able to come into Salesforce and come straight to her open cases so that she can do what she does best, and that is close cases. All right, so another awesome feature, printable record pages. So if you're a veteran of Salesforce and you have been around through the Salesforce Classic UI or user interface, you remember that you used to have the ability to print record pages. And what I mean by record pages are like account pages, contact pages, for all of the objects which you're seeing on your screen. You know, when they made the lightning switch, we did lose some functionality. We gained a lot, but we also did lose some. And printing our record pages was one of those. So for a lot of users, and end users in particular, this was really a hard point to sell them on because they wanted those hard copies. So to remedy that, Salesforce has gone ahead and made record pages printable. So you'll see I'm back in Salesforce as Sally, and I would like to print out this case. So to the top of my screen, you see global buttons. So if I click this drop-down menu, you see that I now have a printable view button here. By selecting that, I'm brought to this printable view of my record, and then I can select print this page. So that is just one of the many things which Salesforce is doing to help make that transition, or to help your end users, if you're an admin, make that transition. I know they're going to love that. All right, pop out utilities into a new window. So this is another great feature that I really like. So you can now pop out your utilities from the utility bar into separate windows, and you can even drag them onto different monitors, and then when you're done, you're able to just pop those straight back into the utility bar. So what does this look like? And maybe if you haven't seen the utility bar, what exactly is it? All right, so to explain, a utility bar is an application-specific set of buttons at the bottom of your screen. So what I mean by application-specific is, you see I'm here in the Service Console. Now, if I went to the Sales Console or any of my other applications, that utility bar would be different. So they're application specific. And then these utilities allow you to do different things. Here you'll see a few good examples. I have history, chatter publisher, recent items, and a list view. So popping back on over to Sally, when she wasn't able to pin her open cases, she just embedded them right here in this little list view. So you see my open cases. The Spring 19 release has brought the functionality to pop this out into its own specific window. And we'll give it a second. And then we can open it up to make it larger and even then drag to a different screen. So this, and then when she's done, she's just able to pop that straight back in. So if you had like multiple of these, or perhaps this subject right here was too long to be viewed in this pane, that would make it really great to just pop this straight out. And then pop back in. So that is one of the many improvements that have come. With that being said, new sub-tab options. So if you are using the Salesforce console, this is wonderful news for you. Sub-tabs have gotten a makeover to help make you more efficient. If you're working on a sub-tab and you need more space, you can now promote that to a workspace tab, or say you need to refresh your sub-tab or close your tab or even customize your tab, you can now do so. So, if you were with us earlier, you did hear us talking about Sally from support. Well, Sally from support is very familiar with working in these sub-tabs. So let's show you what this looks like. I'm going to come to Accounts as Sally, open up my account, and then open up my case. So you see here being mirrored is this sub-tab option. And this is great because it allows you to pop back in between your account and your case and any other what you would call child records as sub-tabs. But sometimes Sally needs a little bit more space to be working. So now she has the ability to set as a workspace tab. So this removes that tab as a sub-tab and promotes it to a workspace tab. So let's exit out of this and come back in here. The other options that you have are Refresh tab, which enables you to refresh this specific tab rather than refreshing your entire Salesforce. Or you can customize the tab, rename it, and then give it a different icon as well. So great news, Sally. They are just improving and improving in the console applications. And speaking of those improvements, 2 region page templates for console apps. What? This is awesome. So if you're familiar with the non-console version of Salesforce, so just the regular tabular-based Salesforce, you know that in the Lightning App Builder, and this is more for you admins, but you and users will love this as well. You know that you had the head bar with the 2 equal regions. So in console apps, if you're familiar with building these Lightning app pages, you know that it was either left side with a right smaller side or right side with a left smaller side. And I'll demo this for you. But for people who worked with Chatter or maybe with the related objects quite a bit, that wasn't the best UI for them because it almost made it too small. So more recently, they developed this equal paged region for Salesforce, but they didn't make it available for console apps. Well, now, as of Spring 19, we do have the ability to create that in the console app. So I've done the work and I've created the page and then assigned it to my profile. But here you see this equally page region, or the equal page region display, which I'm showing. So this is really great for, like I said, people who work on Chatter a lot and they want this to be larger, or people who need to see these related lists better. This is an awesome opportunity, and we see so many people love it. And personally, I think it's my favorite. So go in to the App Manager or Lightning App Manager under Setup, and you'll now see that for your console apps. All right. So this is a major improvement. We've been talking a lot about Sally from support, but now let's kind of go over something for sales. So major improvements to Salesforce surveys. Salesforce surveys are now translatable into 10 different languages, which is phenomenal because personalized service does lead to an increase in customer satisfaction, just as well as the fact that you're speaking to your customer in a language which they understand, literally, and you're able to get a better view of them and communicate with more of them. This leads to you really being able to see your customers and see their preferences. They are also introducing new question types which are rankable for gauging interest. So if you're familiar with like the standard Salesforce surveys, you know that NPS, so that would be Net Promoter Score, and then CSAT, customer satisfaction, were really the two that they focused on. So they're introducing a new one, which is interesting to me, that is rankable for gauging interest. So how it would kind of work is you would present your clients with a picture and you would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in seeing this? So this could be things like new products or new services or new offerings, which you might be getting ready to offer your customers. Now you can gauge their interest, because when you're able to properly evaluate your customer base, you're able to design them a better product that they will want. So that's going to be a really cool one. I'm excited for that one a lot. Another thing I'm excited for is the invitations for contacts and person accounts. So if you have been with Salesforce for a while, you know that sometimes person accounts don't get as much love as business accounts. And some of that parity can kind of be limited. So if you are a business which does business like with a B2C market, this is going to be awesome for you. So you can generate Salesforce surveys from person accounts and contacts, which I'm just so excited for because that was not possible before, you know, declaratively. You either had to develop a solution or pay for a solution, and who wants to pay for something else, right? Another cool thing is expiration dates for surveys. So I've not actually done this, so I haven't tested out how it works, but you're able to set the exact date you want a survey which you sent to expire. Kind of the old way of doing it was after they'd received that invitation for the survey, or they had received an email to link to that survey, that was there forever. And they could always go in even years later and complete that survey, or months later and complete that survey. This led to kind of a problem with data skew. If you serve clients, you know that sometimes things which are out of your control can happen, and you don't really want customers coming in and giving you a review based on something external. So here, you're able to gauge your customer when you send that survey, or within a specific amount of time that you've sent that survey. So you're really getting that view of your customer and their true satisfaction at that point in time. All right. So improved search. Now, this is going to be a great feature. The Salesforce search bar is just very intuitive and just a wonderful search, but it didn't have complete searchable options. You couldn't search every object. So there are more objects which will be searchable in Spring 19, like account brand, account relationship, some of those relationship objects which aren't technically true objects but exist more in a relationship fashion. You're going to be able to search those now, which will be amazing. So you'll be able to jump right in and find the record which you are looking for very quickly. You can now see the exact objects which were searched and exactly how many results turned up. In the past, when you use the search bar, you couldn't necessarily see all of the objects which were searched. This left a little bit of ambiguity in if every object was searched. Now Salesforce is going to show you the exact objects which were searched and even allow you to filter down to specific objects if you would like to see the records returned from there. So there will be more details, and it will be easier and more streamlined to get to the data that you need to get to quickly. All right, so this next slide is probably my favorite new Spring 19 release feature, an increase in data storage. This is completely free from Salesforce. In select editions, they are increasing the data storage from 1 gigabyte to 10 gigabytes. And again, that is completely free. So if you are a company which does store a lot of data, you know when it comes to Salesforce, data is not that cheap. So in response to a lot of pushback from clients and customers, Salesforce has decided to increase that for free for you guys. So that is, like I said, probably our favorite feature. And to round it out, update to retention limit for field history data. So field history data storage is increasing from 18 months to 24 months. So let's pop back into Salesforce. If you don't know what I mean, I'm going to explain that to you. So field history data, and this will be great if maybe you're monitored by the federal government, like I know some of our clients are, or maybe in the off chance you just need to access it one day. But field history data is this that you see right here. In every single object in Salesforce, you're able to designate fields which you would like to track changes which are made to. So in the objects, they will appear in this history tab right here. And so you'll see that I created this case and then I set the subject afterwards. And any other changes which I make maybe to the contact name or the contact phone or anything which I make a change to will appear here. And Salesforce used to purge this data after 18 months. With some clients pushing back, or some customers, I should say, of Salesforce pushing back, they have increased that to 6 more months via the API. So what that means is this will disappear from here, from the user interface after 18 months, but you will still be able to query for that data via the API. After 24 months, it does get purged, but I believe that you can increase that as well. Say you should need more. But that is just something that they're going to be doing for all orgs. So that is an awesome feature. All right, well, that is all that we have today for the Salesforce release. Please note that this is not a comprehensive list of the features which you can expect to be in your Salesforce org, but rather a high-level overview of the features which you can expect. So with that being said, back to you, Julia, and thank you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that great information today, Lauren. It's great to learn more about what's coming with the Salesforce Spring release, what we can expect moving forward, and how we can take advantage of it by seeing it in action. With any questions or concerns you may have regarding the spring release or maybe with Salesforce overall, you can always reach out to us via the email address or phone number you'll see on your screen coming up here. Our experts are eager to help guide you and collaborate wherever we can. If you missed it in my intro today, we did record today's presentation and we'll be sending everyone a link to access this webinar on demand. We'll also be covering some of the content that you saw in today's webinar in some blog posts, so if you haven't already, you should go ahead and subscribe to the LedgeView Partners blog. There will be a lot of written recaps. You can share the link to today's presentation within your professional networks once you receive it. And once again, that email will be coming from LedgeView Partners, so be sure we're added to your safe senders list so you have no trouble receiving it. With any questions you may have that you didn't get to ask during today's presentation, you can reach out to us at that same email address and we will be sure to follow up with you. All right, everyone, that's it for today. We look forward to seeing you next time and hope you enjoy the rest of your week.